God is not in the chaos. This is such a good reminder when you're dealing with situations in life and you don't know what direction to go in. He says to follow the peace, not the chaos. If there are certain situations that are constantly bringing chaos and strife, you need to exit out of those situations as quickly as possible. If it's a pattern, if it's something that happens over and over, and it's just this continuous thing, remove yourself from that situation. Don't keep engaging. When you're engaging, you're basically fueling the fire. You are continuing to keep that flame going when you're engaging in something that is chaos. You have to starve it out. You have to remove yourself. You have to exit from that. That's with anything, not just chaotic situations or chaotic relationships, but sometimes not like just stepping out of it. For example, if my family, where I came from, all of that, there is a habit of gossip and talking and really not doing, talking and not doing, chatting, not doing, wasting time. And it was so easy to be sucked into because you're like, oh, so-and-so's calling. Oh, I gotta go. So-and-so's on the other line. Oh, so-and-so's calling. Oh. And it was like almost like an everyday thing where you're bouncing back and forth between different stories, different things. This person's going through this person's going through this. And you're just always wrapped up in this chronic chaos that leaves you like, what time is it? What day is it? How long have I been on the phone? What did I even accomplish? I didn't really accomplish anything, and I finally woke up one day and decided, I don't want to be a part of this. I'm just going to not answer. And when I really got the revelation that was how easy it was, just don't respond. Don't jump to react. Don't answer. Don't always feel like you have to get your 2 cents in. A lot of that's linked to ego, where you might say, well, I'm trying to help. No, you're trying to be right. You want to be right more than you want to help. If you want to help, back off and get out of the situation, because you're not going to help people who don't want to help themselves anyways. And it's not helping you grow. It's just keeping you all tangled and wrapped up, and you're in this chaos. It's like you're suffocating yourself. You need to swim higher, like swim above the chaos. Go to a higher level, because it's like chickens can't go where eagles are. So what do? You're going to be around the chickens all clucking and arguing and pecking at each other and I'm right, I'm this, I'm that. No, you go higher. You go to a higher level, because the chickens are still going to cluck. The hens are still going to cluck. They're still going to be doing what they do, regardless if you're there or not. Somebody else will come in and fill that spot very quickly. And so the best thing that you can do is get your life in order. Get your home in order. Get your thoughts in order. Get your finances in order. Tighten up your own life. Get your relationship in order, your marriage in order. And you're not going to be able to tackle all of that all at one time. But by snipping yourself free from the things that aren't producing fruit and the things that are pulling you in all these different directions and weighing you down, a lot of it is as simple as so many people telling you what they think you should do in your day-to-day life. Well, when I decided to homeschool my kids, it was so many different opinions. And a lot of them were valid. Like, oh, well, you could get more done if they're in school. Yes. You could work and make more money if they're in school. Maybe. Might have to hire, a nanny to pick them up, though, if the schedules don't change, don't connect, and just whatever. So there's all these different things. Even close family members telling me, well, don't you care about your kids' education? If you really cared about your kids' education, you would put them in school. Who are you to teach them? I'm like, I'm no one except for their mother in a vessel who's willing to learn and do the work. What I started doing was realizing that I'm not going to shut them up. They're going to have something to say about every single thing that I do. You're never going to win. They'll be like, oh yeah, I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy for you. And then the next breath, what are you doing? Because they're all over the place. So they're going to put that on you. And a lot of times it's just insecure people that they don't have the confidence in themselves. And so they're telling you what you should do from an insecure place. You want to learn from people who are willing to go all in, even if they don't have it all figured out. Like, No. Do I have this all figured out? Am I going to fail? Am I going to stumble on my way? Yes, but I'm going to do it anyways. And so when you choose to do that, it can be a lonely path. A woman who walks alone, I know there's this big thing about a woman needs her tribe and her community. And I get that. Like, there are a lot of good qualities in having your own tribe. I'm someone who walks alone. I've been that way almost my whole life. I'm a one-on-one kind of person. I would rather have that one in-depth conversation than a huge tribe. I don't know why. I'm just that way. I've always been that way. I prefer to walk alone. I prefer to do what I have to do. I like staying focused. And again, you get people from the outside, even in the Christian community, who are like, well, you need to have a tribe. You need to have a community. Well, I don't know. The Bible also says different. He also says with you and God is a majority. So I kind of feel like that is my community. And he gives me the strength to walk that path without guilt of I should be doing something else. I should be, engaging in all of these different things just so I have this big community. A lot of time we're engaging in all of this stuff so we feel like, well, I'm doing the right thing. I'm going to that family event, or I'm having the family, I'm doing all this, I'm doing the right thing, I'm bringing them all together, when there's constant strife. The Bible talks a lot about strife also. So you can't just pick and choose, oh, well, this, so many people just pick and choose, and they're so worried about what this verse says or what they think, instead of just doing what God has called you to do. When you stop having to prove yourself to people, and you stop having to and you stop giving into the obligations or giving into the guilt that you should be doing something more or something different, and you're not being obedient to what God's actually telling you, you're missing out, because he could give you such clear instructions and everybody around you could say, that doesn't sound right. That doesn't sound like you should do that. That sounds opposite. That sounds backwards. Why? That's out of season. You should be doing it this. Well, God's season for you might be totally different than what his season is for that person. Or they may not even be connected. A lot of people show fruit. They look like they have fruit, but their life is dead. They are religious. They are, they don't have, their heart's not right. And I've known a lot of people like that. And there's probably been seasons in my life where I've been like that, where I've been one way, but deep down, maybe I was full of hatred and anger and frustration. And I had to let those things go and forgive myself and forgive others and really just release all of that. So, Jesus came to liberate us. He wants to liberate you in all areas so you could live free in life. That doesn't equate to a lazy life of not accomplishing anything and not doing anything. It actually is a beautifully balanced life. It's a rhythm that allows you to be productive. It allows you to accomplish way more than you would have ever accomplished doing it in your own way, in your own strength, in your own time. And that's where the beauty comes out. It's just such a beautiful walk when you're connected and you tap into that rhythm, and you're not afraid of what the whole world's going to say or point. Because again, you're not going to please everybody anyways, and someone's always going to have something to say about where you live or what you do or what choices you make. And really, if you think about it, we're beat down enough. There's enough of the beating down. You live within your means. I've had people tell me, lower your standards. How you live is foolish. Lower your standards. I don't want to lower my standards. I want to raise them, because God says that he's going to give you equivalent to where your faith is. So if my faith is low, that's what I'm getting. If my faith is high, that's what I'm getting. Faith becomes the currency in which you attract into your life. So if it's low because that person who's telling you to lower your faith, theirs is low, and now you're listening to them, you're going to get what they're getting. And what does their life look like? That's just not something I play around with. I'm not interested in trading the best for the mundane. I don't want to trade, oh, God had this beautiful thing for me, but I traded it because I listened to this person who's on a much lower level, lower faith. I listened to them because I wanted to make them pleased with me. I wanted to have them accept me. I wanted their approval, or for them to like me, or I didn't want to rock the boat. I wanted just to keep the relationship. No. And I think as women, the older you get, you're just like, screw the relationship. If I'm going where God wants me to go, end of story. Either you're on board or you're not. You get to the point where you're like, I'm sharpening that person, they're sharpening me. If they're not, That doesn't mean every season you're going to sharpen somebody. Some seasons you need someone to come help you, and vice versa. But it's the habits and the patterns that create the life over time. So if you're involved in a relationship for 10 years, a friendship that is just not producing any fruit year over year, month over month, it's the same thing, you got to check those things and really remove yourself from the chaos and the fuzziness of other people's problems and burdens. Because let's say you have like a family of 5 or 10, mom, dad, brother, sister, cousins. Everybody's got something, their life is something, and you're involved in all of them. I mean, that's a lot for you to carry. How are you going to maintain your own well-being with your immediate family, maybe your kids and your spouse, if you're trying to then help and be involved, you're involved in these 10 people's lives? I'm not saying, not care about them or not love them, but what I'm saying is being involved in all of their business, that's a lot for you to handle, and then to try to sort out your own. You should have a couple people that you go to for wise advice. These are people that you trust, that they are connected to hearing God. You trust they're wise. They may not have it figured out in all areas, but as for like business, there's been times where I've needed to reach out to business mentors to run a business in a biblical way. I've needed to reach out to people for marriage. Hey, we're culturally different. My husband's from here, I'm from here. We're always we're opposites. I know opposites attract, but how do we, manage through these life things? And so I reach out to older couples who have been married for a long time to get their advice and their wisdom. That's different. You are humbling yourself to learn so you could be better and you could grow and do better. That's different. That's different than getting opinions. Advice and opinions are different. When you're getting opinions, it's like, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think I should do? Well, so-and-so. And it's all going to be based on where they're at and the information that they have. So when God says to live a quiet life, it doesn't mean that you don't show up boldly. It's more in the sense of you're not stirring the pot. You're not a gossiper. You're not creating drama and trouble. Your mouth isn't getting you in trouble. You are wise with your words. Like, you are intentional with